Tonight on the Local Live, Westchester's sales tax rises 1% on August 1st. See how the Delancey Cemetery restoration team is saving the burial ground. The Village of Mamaroneck Fire Department helps kick off the summer with a parade. And Neighbors for Refugees celebrate its first gala with a powerful play. Good evening, it's Thursday, July 11th. I'm Maura Carlin and welcome to the Local Live. Shoppers throughout Westchester will pay an 8.375% sales tax starting August 1st. Now that's no change for the cities of Mount Vernon, Yonkers, and New Rochelle and White Plains, but 1% higher elsewhere. That amounts to an extra penny on every dollar. The county expects an extra $90 million in revenue due to the tax increase. 20% will go to local municipalities and 10% will go to local school districts. Westchester County Executive George Latimer promises not to seek property tax increases for 2020 and 2021. Village of Mamaroneck Mayor Tom Murphy told the Local Live that he applauds the move, adding, quote, "It is a plus for Village of Mamaroneck property taxpayers." Neighbors for Refugees, a Larchmont-based humanitarian group, held its first sold-out spring gala last month. Attendees watched a performance of In Her Words, which tells stories of refugee women from all over the world.
I'm Zachary Moore, and I'm the director of In Her Words, which is a play that is being shown tonight for a benefit for a local organization called Neighbors for Refugees, which helps refugees settle into life in the United States.
We are proud to sponsor tonight's performance of In Her Words, a play about refugee women in their own words.
Hi, I'm Beth Blatt. I'm the author of the play, although I'd like to be clear that in some ways I'm not really the author, because this is all drawn from the words of the refugee women themselves. The project began, I'm part of an organization called the League of Professional Theater Women. So I'm a member of the International Committee, and they're talking about this project where their international affiliates are interviewing refugees from all over the world, and they're going to turn it into a theater piece. So basically, I hijacked it, and I said, I want to do that.
So I play two major characters in tonight's show. I'm the narrator, and I am also Raja, a Kurdish refugee from Syria who, once the war starts, has to live in a camp and leave her home and is displaced.
I play Mupa, as well as a few other roles. I am very honored to play Mupa just because she's so spunky, and even though she's been through so much, like she had to give birth basically silently in the jungle. And she just kind of got through her life, and it takes a lot of courage to do that, and I'm very honored to be able to bring that to the stage.
My main role in tonight's production is Kay. I also play a trafficker and a U.S. pilot and another one of the refugees' husbands. I think this show is extremely important because it tells a story of many women's lives that we don't usually listen to. And something like theater is a way that everyone can relate to or feel the compassion of others. I think art is the only way you can do that, and that's why I think this show is really good for people to understand the lives of others and things that we don't fully understand.
Thank you for supporting this organization.
Neighbors for Refugees for the work they do, for sharing the play this evening.
Thank you so much for supporting the show and coming out tonight.
To see the play and for supporting this amazing organization.
We truly greatly appreciate it.
And I really hope it starts and continues to change people's lives.
Restoration is underway at the Mamaroneck Village Cemetery, founded by the Delanceys over 200 years ago. Local Live reporter Stephanie Yang spoke with one of the project's organizers to see the progress made on the burial ground.
The Delancey Cemetery in Mamaroneck has been a historic landmark since the early 1800s. Now the community is working on the restoration project for the past 2 years. The Delancey Cemetery Restoration Project has teamed up with the Mamaroneck Historical Society and other organizations in the community to complete a new and improved burial grounds for the neighborhood. Hi, I'm here with Mike from the Mamaroneck Historical Society. So you have this great restoration project that's going on. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
This is the burial ground of the Delancey family, a very old and historic family in Mamaroneck. One of, I think, our founding families who were responsible for many things that happened in Mamaroneck, St. Thomas Church being one of them, and most of Mamaroneck history.
And what's the next steps for this land?
The next steps would be to finish the wall, to finish the walkway, clean it all up, get all the rocks out of everywhere, probably put some dirt in here, level this off nice, get some grass growing.
And some Mamaroneck students provided a helping hand.
The Mamaroneck High School football team, believe it or not, they've donated a lot of their guys, and the coach, Anthony Vitti, has brought over many of his guys, and they worked very hard for the last 2 days.
Tripico continues to tell me why he wants to take on this old project.
We wanted to restore it because it's very visible. It's a historic family, as I said, and it's something that will last forever. It'll be here forever. It was getting very, very out of sorts the way it was. The wall had been stolen over the last 100 years. Stones were toppled and vandalized, and things like that. So we wanted to bring it back to as close to the original glory as it was.
Tripico says they anticipate the project will be done in fall 2019. Reporting for The Local Live, I'm Stephanie.
I came from 5 generations of teachers. Losing my job was the bottom falling out of my world.
The Larchmont Mamaroneck community celebrated the 4th of July with parades, fireworks, and more last week. Antique and current fire apparatus rolled down Mamaroneck avenues for the annual Firemen's Parade, and here are some highlights.
Now the parade is just starting. You can hear the sirens in the background.
Yes, they are getting here, and Mamaroneck Avenue is very nicely decorated. Got lots and lots of people. Got the American flag hanging over across by the movie theater.
Shots of the crowd. All right, now who are we looking at, Ken?
Well, here we got Larchmont firefighters. Those are they have that uniform with the flame on the helmet.
Oh,
that's an old thing. There's not as many of them as there used to be.
Hi, Right now we're here with Dean DeLitta, the Grand Marshal. It feels amazing to be standing next to you. I feel honored. But can you tell me what an honor it is for you to be here tonight? How you feel overall?
It is. It's a great honor. I've been in the volunteer fire department for 34 years now. Past chief for 2 years, back in 2008 to 10, and having the honor of being the Grand Marshal for the parade. Especially it's a parade that I've been coming to since I was a small child here in the village.
That's always a beautiful moment to come back year after year and just see all the changes that have been made. How does it feel to be back here with your local community?
It's great. This is what makes Village of Mamaroneck Fire Department so great. It's generation after generation. People that were born here. My grandfather was in the fire department, and uncles and cousins, and that's really what makes this department special.
X Factor drumline that you're watching.
That note, I want to thank everybody at LMC for helping, for working so hard to make this night possible. I'm Alice Bloom. With me is Ken Barron. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Have a safe year till we see you again.
The move comes 4 days after her blackface comment that provoked a firestorm.
In an era of media consolidation and globalization, the PEG channels root our media in local communities, in local voices, and that is absolutely indispensable.
A lot of people are able to get job training, information, just from using public access.
This is about the arts. This is about accessibility. This is about transparency.
Great youth media programs. Programs giving people second chances and being able to learn new skills.
PEG stations give viewers critical information about their communities and offer an important platform for local residents. PEG channels connect us to our communities, and they enrich our lives every single day of the year. The FCC should work for communities, not powerful cable companies. This battle is a lot like the fight for net neutrality. Net neutrality is really about every voice, no matter how small, being heard. The same is true here with the PEG channels.
The main threat facing media centers nationwide is that the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is going to redefine how we receive our funding.
It will impact the people who we're trying to serve. They're actually paying for us in their cable bill. And now all of a sudden the cable operator is taking their money, then deducting it from us.
They cannot be in a position where they basically force the shuttering of PEG channels all across our country.
We need Congress to tell the FCC that they're out of bounds.
It's pretty clear to me that the FCC is an agency that does the public's will begrudgingly, and it fits and starts.
We're talking about supporting causes, charities, education, youth, seniors, democracy.
This is not a left issue. This is not a right issue. This is an everybody issue.
If you care about protecting local community access television, raise your voices.
Don Hito Restaurant returns to Mamaroneck Avenue with its Latin fusion cuisine and a new team. New owner Jack Free Rosado tells us more.
Donjito is a fusion food created from two chefs, me, myself, and my chef, executive chef, Luis. He was a Don Coqui chef. For 15 years, he created the Don Coqui menu. So now, after 15 years later, we created together the Donjito Fusion Kitchen. The process is a very hard process. It was a creation that we took over. It was already there, but we took it over and we've spiced it up a little bit more. Coming to Mamaroneck is a small town for me, but I'm very happy that the village has welcomed me and my team, the great team that I have with John and with Louis and everybody behind us. I'm very happy. Being in a restaurant, I started from a little kid in a small town in Queens, little restaurants that my family had. And like they call it like in the city, they call it cuchifritos, like little fried foods. So we started that with my family. And from there, little kid, I started all my life been in the food industry. So from there, I started growing and growing and growing, and for the love of the food and everything that I love. It's very hard to open a business. You have to have a great team behind you because, you know, the cons about it, the pros and the cons about it, that if you don't have a great chef behind you, that is always, you know, a good friend that I have, Chef Louis, it's gonna be hard to execute all the food that I want to show the village of Mamaroneck what we have to offer them, and the families and everybody else.
Here's what's happening around town. Hispanic culture is the focus at the Heritage Celebration this Sunday, July 14th. There'll be food, games, and cultural performances at the Kensico Dam Plaza in Valhalla. It's from noon until 7 p.m. You can join the John Bates Band as they rock the Mamaroneck stage for the first time Monday, July 15th at 7 p.m. The soulful musical performance will be held at Memorial Park, and it's a concert you don't want to miss. Head over to Constitution Park in Larchmont for their musical event. On July 18th, a variety of bands will perform for the neighborhood, and that begins at 6 p.m. Make sure to bring your picnic baskets full of food and drinks. And Sport Time is hosting a youth tennis clinic at Harbor Island. It'll be free for village residents during the months of July and August. Pre-registration is required and class space is limited.
Hello, my name is Kevin Vacna, and I'm a New York City public school teacher and film enthusiast. Around here, I'm also known as Professor Movies, and I would like to invite you to participate in my class, Talking Technophobia in Film, here at LMC TV. LMC is a place where creative minds can come together to collaborate, create, and explore the possibilities of video, technology, and art. My class is a forum where filmmakers, lovers, and theorists can have a moderated discussion about technophobia in our culture and how it is represented in film. We do not watch the films in this class, but we do enjoy some popcorn and snacks. So far, the films we have covered are Jurassic Park, The Matrix, Star Wars, and Godzilla. You can find out more information as well as view past classes on lmctv.org/classes. This Friday, we'll discuss the 1996 film Independence Day and explore ideas around extraterrestrials, patriotism, and maybe even create a plan for world peace. On Friday, August 2nd, from 7 to 9, we'll turn our attention to robots. The film is being decided by an Instagram poll, and I'm excited to see the final choice. The two finalists are Terminator 2 and Ex Machina. You can vote on my page at VACATTAC. That's VACCATTAC. You can sign up for each month's film class by emailing reserve@lmctv.org. Remember, space is limited, class is free. Class is in session. Hope to see you there.
Found a bullet in the woman's body. It's one of ours.
Someone in this department is playing us.
I've got a pretty good idea who.
Okay, in the past few months, there have been a lot of unexplainable deaths.
They're on to us. We need to step up our game. They're going to find out that I'm Abigail Daniels.
What if? Wait a minute. Daniels? Daniela? I think that Daniela is Abigail.
What are you doing here?
I got the call also.
It wouldn't be because you killed him.
starting not to trust the chief either.
Me neither.
LMC Cast.
The whole system is hot. All right, cool. I definitely would recommend doing podcasts if you are someone that likes to get something off the chest, or you want to just talk about anything in the world that just might interest you. Podcast here at LMC TV is amazing.
I hope you're listening out there.
Do you have a news tip? Seen anything interesting around town? Is there breaking news in your community? Send your videos, comments, pictures, and tips to the Local Live, your news source of Larchmont and Mamaroneck.
Remember, if you missed Thursday's live broadcast, you can catch replays of the Local Live twice a day on this channel and find story clips on our YouTube channel. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook to stay up to date on things you may have missed. Thank you for watching The Local Live. I'm Maura Carlin, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night.
If you are interested in sponsoring this or other programs on LMC TV, contact us for more information.